Sunday Struggle Podcast. The Sunday Struggle Podcast. The Sunday Struggle Podcast. Say here. Whoa, whoa,
Welcome back.
Hey guys.
Welcome back to another episode of the Sunday Struggle Podcast. This is episode 14.
Wow. Damn, we're getting up there.
We are. We should have like a recap of how we think we've gone. Whatever.
Nah.
So we're back with another episode. If you see us in the same clothes again, mind your business. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, thanks for coming back. This week is a good week. That was loud. My bad. This week,
It's okay.
This week is last week we talked about movies. This week we're gonna keep the same train and TV shows. We're gonna keep the same train, but something more current. So far in the first week of February, we've had a big uproar in the Formula One community. Do you know anything? Do you know anything about it? Like, do you know anything?
I know Lewis is Ferrari.
Okay.
And I know Charles re-signed a Ferrari.
Yes. Okay. We can
That's
start there. So Lewis Hamilton, if no one knows and does not follow Formula One, Lewis Hamilton is an 8-time world champion. Yes, I say 8 because he should have won in 2021 and not Max, so that's my opinion. Okay. Really 7-time, but should have won 8. Has been with Mercedes for 13 years. Since 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he finally has put that to an end, and he has signed with Ferrari. I that was not on my bingo card this year.
Nope.
I did not expect that to happen.
Me neither.
Yeah, I was not expecting that. Okay, I thought like that's their baby. They're gonna keep him. Like, why would they give up their baby? But whatever. Supposedly Ferrari's also kept their contract with. I think he gets $100 million with Ferrari.
Lewis?
Yeah, and they're also going to keep like all of his diversity and stuff. They're going to also support that.
Okay.
So like, do what you got to do.
Well, I mean, he is like one of the, probably the biggest person on the grid right now.
Yeah.
In terms of like fame.
Other than Max. Yes.
Yeah. Like so. Most pole.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's news. We'll now be seeing Lewis in red, which I don't think looks good, and we're also gonna hear him say, "Hey, I'm Lewis Hamilton, and I drive for Skitter Ferrari." No offense, Lewis. I love you so much, but that just doesn't
love Ferrari. It doesn't.
But it
sound
doesn't
right,
sound
though.
good. It's like I'm Lewis Hamilton, and I
Driving
race for Mercedes.
AMG.
It just sounds so much better.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll get used to it. Maybe we'll.
And the black and the
Teal?
turquoise teal. It just looks really good on him.
It looks really good. I'm here for it. But yes, so now we have the 2025 lineup. Yes, Charles did resign for many more years. Which we talked about this episodes ago. We wanted Charles to be at Red Bull. We did not want him to be at Ferrari. And Charles, what the fuck are you doing? Okay, they treat you like Crash. Crash.
Yeah, Crash.
They treat. Give us a second.
And I'm the one who worked today.
They treat you like trash, and they just were not whatever. Which I think means that Carlos Sainz will not have a seat in 2025 because his dad, because Audi is supposedly supposed to be coming into Formula One in 2026, right? And Carlos' dad, so Carlos Sainz Sr., has a really big, Carlos's dad has a really big relationship with Audi. Or however you say it. I say Audi. Yeah. Same difference.
I don't care.
Has a really big influence and like relationship with them. And so it's speculated that Carlos is their first pick once they come into Formula One in 2026. So he may be out of a seat, which
For
he was
1
out of
year.
a seat anyway because Lewis is taking his spot, right? There's also speculation that, I literally, when I found this out the next day, I was talking to my fiance and I was like, I think if that's the case, then that means there's a seat up at Mercedes. I don't think they're keeping Sergio. Red Bull's keeping Sergio. I think there's a spot to be open. And if they were going to keep Sergio, I still think someone deserves, because everyone's like Daniel Ricciardo deserves the Red Bull seat. I disagree. I think literally anybody else. I was like, I don't think Daniel deserves the Red Bull seat. Just not because Daniel didn't do well, but he just wasn't top on the grid. There were so much better people up there who just deserved the seat. So that just was not my top pick.
I agree with that.
Yes. Okay. Now I'm going to list off all of the people whose contracts end at the end of 2024. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
It's basically the whole grid. Sergio Perez, Carlos Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Esteban Ocon, Pierre Gasly, Alex Albon, Logan Sargent, Daniel Ricciardo, Yuki Tsunoda, Valtteri Bottas, Zoe Guanyu, Kevin Magnussen, and Nico Hülkenberg. Yeah, that's a lot of people.
Yep, that's like
half the
grid, yeah.
If not the whole grid. Yep. Max, I think, is set until 2028. I think. They're
Max
not letting
is
him
set
go.
for life.
Yeah.
Just whatever.
Well, I don't know, because it would be good. I would like to see a change like Lewis had for Max. I feel like he could probably go somewhere else. Obviously,
what if he went to Mercedes,
bro.
That would be crazy.
That would be, bro.
That would be the biggest betrayal of like the whole F1 world. Like oh my god.
So I do not think they're gonna keep Sergio, and I don't think Daniel Ricciardo deserves a Red Bull seat. I said Alex Albon deserves the Red Bull seat. Give that man a try again, because he was no. Yes, he does. Okay, listen, Linda, listen. Because he did so well in his Williams, but he has so much potential. He just doesn't need to beat a Williams. He needs to be better in a better car than Williams. He's not good enough. I don't think he should
give him one race.
Well, okay, remember he was at Red Bull, but then obviously tanked.
Yeah.
Same thing with Pierre Gasly, was at Red Bull and then tanked. So they didn't keep him. I think he deserves to be Red Bull. And you know what the speculation is? Red Bull offered him a 3-year contract starting 2025. That's the speculation.
Albon?
Yeah, that's the speculation that they have offered.
I mean,
Alex Albon a 3-year contract.
I would like to see him drive
think
Red
so
Bull.
too.
I mean, he seems like a cool dude.
I don't know if that's a great dynamic between the drivers.
Alex and Max.
Yeah, not a good. I think they like.
Well, I mean, they know each other. Like,
Daniel.
they've been friends.
Yeah, but I think they like Red Bull itself likes Daniel for the if they don't keep Sergio.
Yeah, well, it's also like Daniel is the
reserve driver,
or
was the reserve driver.
Well, it's also, but Daniel is like kind of like the senior. Like, he's older. He's been driving for a long time.
I don't think it matters.
Yeah, but sometimes they look at it like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, they're like, okay, well, all these rookies are kind of fucking up. Like, Sergio was doing good for a minute, and now he's kind of like, eh.
He's
and
old, though.
Yeah, and it's like, now we see Daniel is kind of doing better. He's getting back in mid. Like, he's not, like, And
also keep in mind, we give Daniel kind of a pass because he was brought into the season. Remember, he wasn't in the season, I think, in the beginning of 2023.
Right?
No, I think the year, was it 2022 where he wasn't in the season? It was a different guy. And then they didn't keep him halfway through and they switched him out with Daniel. And then Daniel re-signed, in 2023 for a year. And then he ended up getting injured. And so that's where Liam Lawson came in and drove for him, which I think Liam did pretty good. Not the best, but he did pretty good to be Ricky, to be also a reserve driver who never got any type of ride time, And then I think Logan Sargent did good. He deserved another year. That was great for him. I think a lot of people were hurt that this would be Liam's last race. I think we really wanted to see Liam back on the track. But, yeah. So, Daniel, keep in mind, Daniel did have a wrist injury or a hand injury. And that's, we can kind of put him not off to par. Also, McLaren trashed his mental health. Like, McLaren fucked his mental health. So, he's also coming back from that, too. And, he wasn't doing really well. Like, he was doing well in Red Bull when Max was in his rookie year and then switched to McLaren. And then he just could not get the car to work for him.
Well, no, he was with Renault.
Was that before Red Bull?
That was before McLaren.
Oh.
So he went to Renault, and then, after a year...
Went to McLaren?
Yeah, he went to McLaren. Because, remember, it was the whole thing, he was helping Renault out. And it was the huge, rivalry between Red Bull and Renault, and he chose Renault. And then, he was, getting comfortable with Renault, and everybody was liking him, and he was doing pretty good.
And they were going to actually do a lot for him the next following year.
And then he switched to McLaren, and then he fucked it all up because he's he's not an idiot. You thought
No, but that car did not have.
No.
It just did not work for him. And also, I think at that time Lando was also in his rookie year, which is doing better.
And like Lando is a good driver too.
I'm really also hoping Lando gets a fucking podium because he's on the list of the.
Is he still with? He's still with McLaren.
Yes.
When does his contract end?
Him and Oscar Piastri's contracts are up in 2026. Both of them, and I hope he gets a pole position because he deserves it so bad.
He hasn't gotten it yet. What? No.
So he hasn't had one since 2021.
Yeah, but he hasn't won a race.
He's been on pole, but hasn't won a race. He's gone over 100 races. He's like on the top level of how many races you've been on pole position, but not being pole.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
That's got to hurt your ego.
Yes.
It's just like,
and your mental health. And especially, Piastri did great. I'm happy to see what Piastri has this year. I think McLaren's going to do really good. I think Lando and Piastri did really good last year. I'm interested to see that. I know that Lewis Hamilton and Charles are really good friends. I'm excited to see that bromance happen. I'm sad to see the bromance between Carlos and Lando not be there anymore because I'm pretty sure he's not having a seat. I think also Fernando Alonso is going to retire this year. He's 40. I think he's 43. He'd be 43 at the end of the season. 44.
Yeah.
It's time for him to go.
Yeah.
No offense.
Go chill.
Yeah. Relax.
He's not going to, but
So I don't know where everybody else is going to go. I would like to see, if they don't keep Sergio, I would like to see Alex Albon in the Red Bull seat. I really wanted Charles, but that's okay. And it didn't state how many more years Charles had extended his.
For eternity.
Yeah, basically. But
why does he not I don't know.
Well, he does it for his dad and Jules.
Yeah, but think about your own career.
Yeah, they didn't. I don't know. And also maybe Lewis will have a rough time where they prioritize Charles, or they'll have a really good driving dynamic. Well, it will work better than it did with Sainz.
I mean, shit, it could be Ferrari's year.
Well, it did. Look, we've heard that 2024 is Lewis Hamilton's year. And so if it's Lewis Hamilton's year, maybe it's Ferrari's year.
I am 100,000% with Ferrari winning.
Me too.
I like Max, and I know you don't.
Okay, so let me also clarify that. It's not that I don't like Max. Okay, I respect.
You don't like how he.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't like how he drives.
Well, I think he's actually done a lot better. I
really?
I think he's done. I respect how Max can make a car anytime they do a change, and that's the difference between him and Sergio. Is Sergio had explained he just can't get the same thing with Daniel. Anytime they change Max's car, Max adapts so well that he can make the car work for him, and it showed last year when he was
just
destroy. Yeah, we didn't need
you
cover your number one on the TV because it doesn't matter because it's always Max, except for that one race where he actually wasn't even in the top 3, but which was great to see.
The fluke.
Yeah, the one fluke
out of 20 how many races?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was really nice to see. I respect Max as a driver. I respect him as a person. I think he's a really funny, great person. He's super nice. Hate the Dutch national anthem, and I hope he does.
He hates it too.
I hope he does worse this year because I would like to see or someone does so much better. I feel like Max needs to be above Formula 1. He's so much better than his car. Either they need to make a shit car and make him work for it, or we can see a real competition. It's fun to see competition, even if you're not. Because you're not watching it for Max at this point. Because that's boring.
He's winning.
Yeah, and that's boring.
You're watching everybody else.
You're watching everybody else. Even if you're, it's the fact that you're watching people down in P9. Alex Albon, everybody else moving up. You're watching that and not Max. I would love to see, and that's why I wanted Charles to be Red Bull because Charles has been on his ass. A lot that he hadn't won.
He's been doing really good.
He did really well last year. He was in a lot of pole positions. And I think we would do well with that. But
I'm excited.
I know. Excited. And I'm there's going to be so much drama because everyone's going to try to drive their best because everybody's contract is up.
I'm excited. It's going to be a good year.
It is going to be a good year. It's going to be so much drama. It's going to be so much. I don't know. I feel like maybe the people in Haas will also be maybe retiring. I feel like there might be a couple retirements this year.
So is that what you were
No, did you hear
about?
that Gunther left? Gunther's no longer the team principal.
No.
Yeah.
Waluigi left. No.
Yeah. Gunther's
weird ass accent.
Gunther's no longer Haas's team principal. He stepped off. Yeah. Yep.
That's okay. He was stressing the fuck. Like, I felt so
He
bad
left, I
for
think-
that dude.
I think that was like, was that the end of December, beginning of January? Like, it's been a minute.
No.
I was very sad when
makes
I heard that.
sense.
Yeah, but that was the Haas debacle, was that they were where they were.
It happens.
It does.
Hey, you know, he's older too.
But I'm pretty, yeah.
And have you seen his house? He doesn't need the money. He's
Yeah,
okay.
he lives off of what, Lake Norman?
Yeah.
In Morrisville?
His beautiful ass fucking house.
I haven't seen it.
It's in Drive to Survive.
Oh, okay.
They show it. It's
I'ma look
fucking
it up.
beautiful. And I'm like, he's fine. He's
Sign
fine.
me off.
That's how he like kind of talks. It's funny.
So there's that. I don't think there's much, you know, I'm excited to see what this year has to hold. Who do we think deserves to be where?
I want to see
What are we hoping to see this
Red
year?
Bull versus Ferrari. Give me that.
But that's what we had last year.
But
Mercedes,
give me
you know,
that
was-
again because Lewis is there. I want to see it.
But I want McLaren to be in that top.
Of course you do because you're little sweetheart Lando.
I'll
I'll say this. I love Lando,
I do.
but like I'm more excited to see Max and Lewis fight it out.
Well,
and
I'm-
Charles.
Yeah, and Charles. See, and I feel like that could be the drama is Charles fighting Lewis, even though because I
Who
feel
are
like,
they going to let win?
Yeah, because you're like, well, Lewis is 7-time world champion, but you're also like, Lewis has not been on his game this year. Like last season was not his season, and that could just also be because the car was shit, but also he was also a team player.
Mercedes took a fucking like
Yeah,
as soon as they took the aerodynamic shit out so they couldn't use that anymore. Like cuz I remember someone was talking about this, like they were saying, "Oh, well, the only reason Mercedes is dominating is because they have such a higher level of aerodynamics in their car.
mm-hmm.
It just makes it so much easier. The wind
From under their car.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
so as soon as they restricted that, like Mercedes just went shit. Like
Well,
someone,
also I think
someone
Mercedes
was
made changes to their
calling
car they shouldn't have. Mercedes, I think this year stated that they're completely changing their car. Completely. Like they're scrapping it and starting
Good.
over.
So who's gonna be driving Mercedes? Is it Valtteri?
We don't know. Well, in 2025 or 2024. Lewis is still in there in 2024. It's at the end of the season, so he doesn't start until 2025.
I have to wait. I don't want to wait.
You have to wait another year.
It's stupid. Okay.
He's okay. He
That's
says-
okay. Whatever.
But that also means there's a lot. I'm saying a lot of people, like there either may be a lot of people not in seats. They just might keep people they already have. You know, like I think most of the both drivers for Alfa Romeo are both up. Both drivers for AlphaTauri are both up.
Alpine.
Yep, both drivers for Alpine are both up.
Yuki for Mercedes.
No.
Say it again.
No.
Yuki for Mercedes.
No.
Yuki for Mercedes.
No.
I love Yuki.
No.
Yuki Tsunoda. You
Does
don't
not
like
des-
Japanese. You don't like the Japanese kid.
Does not deserve to be
I
in
just
a Mercedes.
like him. He's funny.
Yeah, but he doesn't deserve
Fuck you. Like, fucking-
doesn't deserve to be in a Mercedes though.
I know. I'm kidding. I
I
just like
think-
him. I want him to stay on the
I
grid.
don't know. I feel like I hadn't heard. I feel like we should get Liam. I feel like get Michael Schumacher, not Michael.
His son.
His son, Mick Schumacher.
Yeah.
I think
Michael and Mick. What's the difference?
Because Mick Schumacher is the reserve driver for Mercedes. So get him back
Yeah.
in the mix, maybe. Let's see that.
He was okay.
He was okay, but I feel like, let's give Liam Lawson. Let's move Alex Albon. Okay, let's say Sergio goes elsewhere. We don't care. Let's move Alex Albon to Red Bull. Okay, let's bring Liam Lawson back and put him in the Alpine. Okay?
I just had an idea.
What?
Take George Russell, throw him out.
Well, his contract isn't up until 2025.
I don't care. Kill his contract. Cut it. Take the two Alpine brothers, Esteban and Pierre, put them in Mercedes. Boom.
Wait. Yeah, I didn't mean actually. I meant, sorry, take Alex out of Williams and put Liam Lawson in Williams.
Is Sargent,
He's in Williams.
is his contract stopping?
Yeah, at the end of this year.
I
So
don't know.
both the Williams the Williams are also up this year. All the lower teams' contracts are all up. I don't know. Valtteri lives a good life. Like I feel like Valtteri is so carefree. I love Val. If I could meet, like Nick said, if he could meet anybody, he would meet Valtteri. I'm like, yeah, because that's a carefree kind of dude.
Who would I meet? Probably like Charles.
That's what I said. I said I would pick. If I had to pick two places
pick
to be.
Lando.
Listen, okay. I said if person wise versus company wise, I said I would pick Lewis because he might be with. And Charles. It's hard. But
Wolf.
I'm more like of a Lewis lover and a Charles lover. But I said I would pick them because they would be in the same area, like side by side. But I said company wise, I would do McLaren because I get both the McLaren boys. I get a Piastri and Lando, and that's a 2-for-1.
I just like Lando. I don't care for Piastri.
Yeah, Piastri, but Piastri's he's like doesn't care. He's like that antisocial sister you have, like sibling, where it's just like you like we're the annoying ones, and then he's just like.
Yeah, I like Lando. He's funny.
I love Lando.
He's just a kid.
He is
he's like
24.
He's like, what? Yeah. Oh wow. He's that much older than me. Holy shit.
24. So
yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm excited. I feel like we should switch it up. Let's switch it up. I also don't remember
anybody. We already got a big switch up.
What?
Lewis.
Yes, and because it's a big switch up, that means now there's a Mercedes seat open. I feel like everybody's gonna be like, "I'm driving."
Yuki.
No.
Yuki.
Put literally anybody. Put who deserves, or put Alex Albon in a Mercedes.
That would be cool with George.
With George, that would be a good lineup for
That would actually be a
2025.
good-
I take it back. Do not
Yuki and Red Bull. Yuki and Red Bull. Yes.
No.
Him and Max screaming at the.
No. Dude, their engineers would hate him.
I know. That's
let's
so
not put
funny.
Yuki anywhere.
Why?
Leave because
I
Yuki's
love
not
Yuki.
good.
He's so funny.
No, he's not good.
I mean, he's
Let's
not
get
a
someone
bad
new.
driver,
Let's
but
get
he's
someone
just
new into Red Bull. Let's get
who?
someone who's gonna compete with Max. Like I want to see a good competition in the same car.
Well, they're saying Lewis. I mean, Charles is getting close.
He was doing
If they
really
did
good.
a good, like if Ferrari makes a fucking good car,
They had a good car, and
Okay, if they make
I don't know what happened.
even better car.
Yeah.
Because right now Red Bull is just like they just have a phenomenal car.
Yeah. Remember that, like,
and a
meme?
phenomenal driver. It's like fuck.
Yeah, like now, you've got top tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, top tier. I don't know if Red Bull's changing their car though. I hope they do change their car and it fucks up.
No.
Fucks up.
I don't hope so. I like Red Bull.
I hope so. I hope so, not because I hate Max and I don't dislike Max. I hope so that we can see Max struggle with the car, because there's difference when you have a really good car, but if it puts it to the fact that Max can actually adapt. Because remember that one race where Max actually was not in P1 or anywhere on the top grid? His car was shit, right? But he still did an amazing race. I want to see that struggle to see how good of a driver is Max Verstappen. Because Max Verstappen is a great driver with a good car. Is he a great driver and a not good car? Which is Lewis. Like, Lewis is a pretty good driver. He still did pretty good last season.
With a shit car. Yeah.
But he had a shit car. But he still did pretty good. Like, it wasn't where we wanted him. He kind of was in the back. You know, we were all on Charles last year. Like, last year we were like, Charles this, Charles that. Had a little bit of Carlos Sainz. Lando was in the mix. You know, we had other people, and Lewis was like, and he's there. Okay,
Yuki Tsunoda,
and he's around. Well, Yuki did really good in that one race. I don't remember what race it was though. But
Yuki was like top 5, and like not like he didn't finish, but he was doing pretty fucking good in one of the races.
Yeah, so was fucking Alex Albon.
The one when Lando was first, and then Max took it. That was so funny. I was at the gym watching that one, and I was like, "Oh my god, Kennedy's gonna be so happy."
Sad.
And then I saw when I was walking out, I was like, "Nope, never mind."
I was so sad. I was like, Lando was doing so good, but I feel like, you know, I want to see more potential, because Max, I feel like, he's such a top tier great driver, and it also comes from like and I feel like I want some emotional damage for emotional growth, because he grew up in a really hostile, not good household.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, I feel like he drives himself to be so tough on himself, and so like, you gotta be high level, that I want to see a different dynamic with him when it comes to his driving. You know, like when you see videos of like that sunset drive of Charles, emotional. Like, Charles drives for his dad and for Jules, you know. Pierre Gasly also drives, and that friend they lost in F2.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to see a little Lando drives, A, for his mom, B, just to hopefully get fucking P1 one day. Like, that's so sad, and it breaks my heart, and I cry every time, you know. Or like that, you know, I want to see the bromance that we had where Carlos and Lando were helping each other, and they got a 1-2, even though they were on different teams. It's having that kind of sportsmanship where Carlos fucked up his own race to make sure that they could be P2 in the drivers' championship, even if it fucked up his race.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I feel like Max is so me, and not team. Like, I want to see a team dynamic where he does better.
Yeah.
You know, where he's just not self-centered.
But that's what they want.
And absorb. I know.
Like, that's what Red Bull wants. Like, that's
know.
what, what's his name?
Yeah, Christian Horner.
Ugh, I don't like him.
But I will say, I do love their relationship with Max. I love it.
Yeah, because he's winning.
Well, also because
like,
they're
oh
like
my
his,
God,
his-
Max, you're
they're like
so
his parents.
amazing.
Well, I like the relationship because it shows, like, I feel like Christian is his dad. Like, and it's such a good, like, father-son dynamic. Like,
and that's why he probably pushes himself so hard.
Well, no, he pushes himself because of his actual dad.
Yeah.
But I feel like Christian, like, I feel like even like Christian's wife, they're like, that's their son. They just care.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm hoping we've got, I don't know, a different dynamic this year. I know everybody, I feel like it's going to be a lot more crashes and a lot more drama because people are switching and people are moving and it's money and it's a whole bunch of stuff.
They want a seat. The half of the roster wants a seat.
Yeah, for the next
so they
year.
got to prove it.
Yeah, they got to prove their.
I know the Drive to Survive season is going to be fire.
Bro.
That's all I know.
Well, yeah. I'm still waiting for this season to come out. For the last season.
I don't know if they're going to stop it. I mean, I feel like it's still pretty popular.
I feel like you shouldn't stop it. I feel like we've got you've got good content.
Yeah.
I also feel like if people who don't see the races, like I now record off of Hulu, I can record all of my stuff. So I just record them.
It's on
Hulu.
what? The race?
The race. I record
Is
all
it the ESPN or is it actually just on Hulu?
It's on, I think it's ESPN off of Hulu Live.
Okay, let's go because my dad has it. I got his.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So what I
So
do,
now I can watch
yeah. So what
races.
I do is I go and I just hit because I can't watch Hulu Live because my parents are like it changes. Then it's like Netflix, right?
It'll kick you out.
Yeah, for Hulu Live. So what I do is I just go in and I just record it
Okay.
and I'll watch it later. I don't have to watch it at the time.
I just watch the highlights, honestly.
Right. So now you can watch
Now I can watch the actual race.
the actual race, and you can watch the qualifying, and you can watch practice. I don't ever record practice because it's pointless. I don't care.
It's practice.
But I record qualifying and I record the race, and I will sit there and it's Sunday and I'm like, okay, let's go. Like if Nick's at work that day, I'm like, I have to wait a whole day, and I'm like, get your butt on this couch because we're watching it. So
Get
it's
your
fun.
popcorn ready.
Yeah, get your snacks ready. Who we voting for? Like, and it
Yeah.
gets like, it's like rough in our house. Like, I did not think I was a sports girly because I'm not normally a sports girly. But how my dad is with how my dad is with football, and he's like yelling at the TV.
That's how my mom is.
That's how I am with Formula One. Like, I am aggressive. I'm like,
I don't think I'm like that.
I'm like that.
But
so,
I mean, if someone's doing good, I'm gonna be like, "Let's go."
yeah, no, I'm like,
You're like, "Go, fucking go."
yeah, I'm
Move
like,
out of the
or
way.
I'm like, that's a fucking wrong fucking pit. Like in Las Vegas, ooh, that penalty they gave Charles when it should really have been Max penalty. I was pissed, and everybody, even the announcers, were like, "That's a wrong penalty. That should have been a different penalty." Or when Max got a penalty, but it wasn't the correct amount penalty. Like I was like, "You kid!" I was mad. Also, we're doing Las Vegas again this year. We'll see how that goes because
Everybody is hating so hard on Las Vegas, like on social media. It's just like thousands of comments.
Well, I heard this setup was awful, like people getting in and like just all that stuff. But also, it was really cold. I heard the drivers didn't mind. It's Las Vegas itself, but like everybody outside the drivers hated it. Also, they permanently built that into the downtown. Like that's not structurally. I think that was probably a giant ass mistake. Like like that you're causing more traffic. I think that was a terrible idea. Also, why we don't need 3 races in the States. Also, when you do that, you also fuck it up for anybody who lives in the United States because you are appealing to the European audience. So we have to watch the race at 1 a.m. if we wanted to really go. I still think that's fucked up. Like, you could have done... Like, you don't care when we're in Europe and you have those times and it's really late. You don't care. Right? You'll do it, at an like a normal time. Yeah, races at 6, races at 5, races at 4. Races in the mid-morning, afternoon, right? Hit the United States, it's like, yeah, races at 1 a.m. Excuse me? Yeah, no wonder no one wants to go.
I'll watch it in the morning.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? Like,
watch it tomorrow.
I'm not buying tickets for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I also feel like we had, like, it's also like it's also cheaper to go outside the states to watch the race anyway.
Yes. Yeah.
But the people in the United
Except
States.
for Vegas.
No.
Vegas was way cheaper.
No.
The tickets initially were very cheap. I heard people
I
were
don't
saying they
think
were
so.
like only $1,000 for like really good seats, and then they sold out like really fast.
I don't think Vegas was good. See, that's the difference. I feel like for Vegas, it was really bad. Like people paid, like it was just not a good setup. Like for me specifically, I paid for my tickets a decent amount for mine, which we've already discovered. Right?
Yeah.
But keep in mind, how much I paid for my tickets would not cover the cost for me to buy a ticket in the States. For one,
Yeah, I know.
So
I've heard the states prices.
So I bought 2 tickets for the price of not even one if I wanted to go in the United States. Also,
Fuck
it's just
that shit.
Yeah, like it's
not worth it.
it's not worth it. I'm like,
If I was gonna go watch an F1 race, it's not gonna be in the U.S.
It's not.
No,
Absolutely not. Now I could see like after this first one, I would probably not buy. Like I bought a 4-day package. Let's also keep that in mind. Like I bought a 4-day package for the United States. Mine would have been only for 1 day, or like not the whole thing. Like it was super expensive, right? I bought a 4-day package, which is more than what a normal package was. They were having a deal, I think. And it's normally you get practice and you get qualifying and you get the race day, right? The package I got actually ends up being Thursday, which is media day. So you get to like, they let you walk the track. They let you see the paddock. You know, they let you see where the cars are. You might even get to see and talk to some of the race drivers because it's media day. So they're doing all of their media, like all the challenges
interviews.
you see on YouTube. You get to see all those. So you get to experience that. And then Friday is practice. So you can see them drive. And some people still do interviews and still, you know, not everyone does practice. If they had a good practice, they feel like they don't need it. You know, they do interviews and you can still interact that way. And it came with a lot of perks for Thursday and Friday, which was really good. And then obviously with qualifying in the race, that was pretty good for my ticket to be $1,500.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
I'll say this. You know what? I'll say this to myself. If I'm ever gonna watch an F1 race in person, it's gonna be in Italy.
And you know what? I slowly when I think about it, I regret not picking Italy. Because that was my option.
I mean, Barcelona's still fire, though.
But my decision was between Italy and Imola, which is in Italy. My choices were Spain, Barcelona, Spain, and Imola, which is in Italy, right? And when I was looking at the hotel, I was like, it just looks prettier. The hotels look prettier. The scenery looks prettier.
Because it is prettier.
Yeah, right. But I also was like, when I thought about it, it was also, I think, a little bit more expensive. Not terribly. But I also have my our seating. So the seats I bought also are covered because obviously I know Nick sucks, hates the sun, doesn't do well in the sun. Okay, he burns. And they didn't have seating, and I'd have to pay a lot more money for it to be covered, right? And I don't think they also had the 4-day. So I was like, I would rather pay this. I also was like, language-wise, I can learn Spanish quicker than I think I can learn Italian. And I can remember Spanish quicker than I can do Italian.
And also, racism-wise, it's probably better. Cause
in Italy, I don't think so. I think in Europe,
Italy is pretty bad. My friend's Italian.
Really?
He told me it's pretty bad.
Oh.
Italy, well, might be Sicily more.
Oh, Sicilians, yes.
Yeah,
Sicilians
but I know
are
Italy,
that
so
niche.
Italians and French from France, pretty bad.
Oh, yeah. Well, Sicilians are definitely, I can see that for Sicilians because they are a specific,
no one is outside that comes there.
Yeah, so I can see that. But I think I've heard from family members who've gone to Barcelona that also Barcelona men love African American women. So I'm set.
That's all I'm saying. I would say in terms of
although I'll be
the
with
best,
Nick, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So the best not
cultural,
not to be called a slur.
Yeah.
Probably Barcelona is probably
or where you're not
the
better. Cultural
where they're not
acceptance.
You walk in somewhere and they're gonna be like,
excuse me, and look, yeah, and yeah. So we're excited. I'm happy, but we'll see. Today I'm supposed to go home and relook at all that stuff because I hadn't looked back since the beginning, and so I don't know if the prices have changed. But
Yep. Good luck.
so we're going to home and do that. But yeah, that's our. It's what do we got? We did pretty good, I think. I think that's all.
34 minutes. It's not bad.
No,
We're in our.
we didn't. We didn't have much to talk about other than the fact of who do we think is going to be where. A little bit of
Yep.
Formula One T. We're hoping to see a good season. It's going to be a good year.
Yep.
We're who we rooting for? I'm rooting for Charles and Lewis. I'd like to see Lewis have a good season.
I say
and
Lewis.
Norris. Those top three. Those are my top three.
I say, yeah, Lewis, Lando, and Yuki Tsunoda. No, I'm kidding.
You
I love
miss
Yuki.
Don't mind if Yuki does better.
I just like, he's just funny. And he's just a character. I like the characters.
He's also like so adorable.
Yeah.
He's like the shortest one on the grid.
Yes, he's tiny. I do want Daniel to do better.
Yes. At least earn the Red Bull seat.
Yeah. But honestly, I think I'm ready to see the Lewis, Max, Charles rivalry. See what's going to happen with that. So I think that's what I'm looking the most forward to right now.
Which is excited. We'll come back every week and be like, so. We don't start until the beginning of the end of February, the beginning of March. It's our first race. They have a practice race, I think, the week of the 23rd, but their first race in Becker is not until the beginning of March. So we've got a little bit of time left, but
Yep.
tell us who you think you want to win. Who do you think is going to go where? Who's retiring? Who deserves the Red Bull seat and the Mercedes seat? Yeah, that's it. And let us know what you think about Formula One. If you're a fan, great. If you're not, if you're traveling to go see it, where are you going? Let us know about that. That'd be great.
Yeah, true.
I'm trying to see. Maybe if you're going to be in Barcelona, let me know because I can make a lot of friends and that'd be great. If you're from Barcelona, let me know.
That'd be
love
sick.
to see you. Yeah, I would love to see you. And I'd be very happy to have someone who knows the country and can show us all the great places.
True.
I think that's all we have.
Yep.
Well, we'll see you next time.
All right. See y'all. Bye.
Love you.
What?
And done.
Done.